Hazy smoke begins to clear a battlefield. One soldier putting his weight on his mace and getting up on one knee, looking to his alchemist partner and raising him up. Any more of those potions, Cedric?
Yes. Let me pour the potions.
Those orcs aren't going to get away with what they've done to us.
Never.
We will live to fight another day.
Because we'll have the tools of the trade for D&D. So if you want to learn about the different dice, the different books, and the different resources that we use for Dungeons & Dragons, stay tuned and we'll be back in 4 seconds.
Come on back.
Welcome back, guys. Tom here from the Geeky Drinkers, and I've got an amazing special co-host again here, my Dungeon Master, Colin.
Hey guys, happy to be back.
Yep, so if you didn't have a chance to check out last episode, we went into Dungeons & Dragons, the player and the Dungeon Master experience. I'll shoot a card up there, so feel free to click on that if you want to get the experience side of Dungeons & Dragons. This episode, though, is about the utilities and kind of the tools of the trade that we use to make the game come to life.
The gear.
So on this channel, we normally make 2 geek-themed cocktails. Talk about all kinds of things like video games, movies, gaming, merch, and geek things in general. So all things geek culture.
Anything you want?
Almost, but within a limited spectrum.
What if they asked you to do it?
I might. So if you're interested in if you have a show idea, shoot a comment down below and let us know what you want to see, because we wanna serve you. And while you're down there, feel free to click that subscribe button and click the like button. It's greatly appreciated. And if you click that little bell, you'll get notifications every time we have an episode, because it's every Thursday. So right now, along with our intro, we're drinking.
We're drinking ale.
Drinking ale.
Because really, there's no reason to play Dungeons & Dragons without a drink in your hand.
Absolutely. And with that being said, as I mentioned before, Colin's my Dungeon Master in our campaign. I play a character called Feroshi Lyodon, who is a Wood Elf Ranger Outlander. And one thing that I've always done to create a little bit of kind of an ambiance, and one of the tools that I use is I always have music playing in the background, like ambient music, and I play it off of YouTube. Right now,
it's crazy how much of a difference having music playing while you're doing this.
Absolutely,
really adds to it. I mean, there's a lot of amazing video game soundtracks you could borrow from. If you just go on YouTube and type in Dungeons and Dragons
music,
battle music,
yep,
tavern music, I mean, you're gonna have something amazing to play for your game, and they're normally like
Absolutely.
an hour or 2 or 3.
Oh yeah, like the ones that I have range from about 45 minutes to like 3 hours. Yeah. So like I have kind of like the same ones you just mentioned. Like I have like traveling music, like Underdark music, like dark forest music, like just forest music in general, like battle music. I have probably like 5 different battle music playlists and things like that, because you don't want to have the same music over and over and over.
I mean, you can go to music for inspiration too, because I've heard dungeon masters that write entire encounters or campaigns based on the lyrics of a song.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely.
Which can be a lot of fun.
And the cool thing about having that in your arsenal, like right now, Colin and I, like when we're playing campaign, we normally sit opposite, so I'll kind of really be focusing on him, and if I start if I start to sense that the mood's changing, like I'll kind of get like a battle playlist ready or stuff, so that as soon as he said it, like I just have to like tap, and then like it's bam,
mood
like it
shifts. Everyone rolls initiative. You're ready to rock.
Yeah, it's go time.
So so say we're a viewer, we want to play Dungeons and Dragons. What do we do?
How do we start?
Yeah,
how do you start playing D&D?
What do we need?
So that's what we're going to be going over in this episode here. Exactly. And one of the main things you're definitely going to want to have is
friends.
This guy. Well, yeah, you need other people to play with. But if you are short on friends, or your friends aren't really into D&D yet, because they should be,
all they need is you to be a DM.
Absolutely. I don't know. We wouldn't go that far. But if you're ambitious, absolutely. Yeah. But there's a lot of like board game cafes and places like that have open D&D nights. Here in Kitchener, the Adventurers Guild has open D&D every week. There's also a restaurant in Waterloo called the Watchtower Restaurant. I believe they're getting open D&D going again as well. I'll make sure to post a description down.
What is open D&D?
A set time, so say like from like 7 to 10 p.m. Like every Saturday, for example. And basically, you wanna show up early, so show up about a half an hour early. Depending, like they may have pre-existing characters that you already have like created for the story, and it's just kind of like an
good
open
way just to jump into it.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's just you kind of jump in, you can kind of pick up in the campaign and kind of get used to it. Also, if you're not super familiar with it, you can also sit and watch. Like it's really, really engaging. It's really interesting to see kind of how people interact. And if you don't have a board game cafe around you, one resource that you can check out is the Critical Role team, or the Critical Role Show podcast. They are on YouTube. They do Twitch streaming, and I know for me, I listen to it in the podcast app on my phone.
A great way to actually introduce yourself, if you're not sure what we're talking about, is Critical Role actually has a few celebrity kind of shorts where they do a very short one-shot, about 20 minutes to half an hour. They have Sam from Game of Thrones. They have Vin Diesel, who actually is...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, they call it... That one's D&Diesel, and that's one of the ones I
classic.
show... I show people to get them into Dungeons and Dragons, and at least give them a taste of what this game's all about.
Because it's a game of your imagination, it's a game of your creativity, and it's a social game. Like you sit around with your friends and you make memories, you have fun, you encounter a lot of fantasy elements, you encounter creatures, monsters, and you troubleshoot, you do puzzles, and you have a blast. Like you really... Depending on how involved you get in it, you really get to embody your character, which is one thing that I really like about that. And to really help with that, you obviously need to create a character. So with the player's handbook, this is basically your Bible when it comes to creating a character and learning the stats, learning kind of what personalities different races have.
It's definitely where you want to start. Every player should start with a player's handbook, because this will walk you through creating a player.
Step by step as well.
Yeah, step by step. It's very interactive, very user friendly, very accessible. Work through this, create your character. It also tells you the rules of how to play the game.
Yes.
And everything,
fairly important.
All the equipment, all the gear, everything you would need from a player's point of view. Yeah,
it's basically like your encyclopedia. Like anything that you need to know as a player, you can find in this. This is like you can see, like I've got like a bunch of like markers and stuff like that, and these are just general ones, like
just tabs, so you can quickly flip to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
References.
You know, like I have like one for my spells, and you know, just like one for like the stuff that I don't use often, but I know I need on a regular basis. I just haven't had time to commit to memory.
So as a player, you'll generate a character sheet. So you have one right there for Feroshi. So this is something that you use specifically for your character to record, you know, all of your ability scores, all of your health. What is in your backpack, what is in your hand, what your armor class is, what abilities you have. All sorts of stuff about your character that you use, and you're constantly, you know, using your pencil and your eraser to add and subtract from what's going on that sheet.
Absolutely.
So these are your two main tools, and there's only one more other thing a player needs to play this game.
These guys right here.
Dice.
You need your dice set.
Yeah.
So there's different dice other than like your standard like D6 or
which is the one most people are probably the one you think of when you think of dice.
So that's just your six-sided dice, but there's a whole bunch of different ones. So
yeah, I think the main one to look at. Let's start with the D20.
Is your D20. So it's this guy right here. It's a 20-sided dice.
So this is basically, if you're going to make an attack, if you're going to do anything as a character, you first attempt it with a D20.
Yeah.
All of the other dice are basically damage.
Yeah, like either damage or if you're using like spell where you are healing yourself, like for hit points.
For hit point amounts.
Yeah, you have different ones on that. Different modifiers and things like that can have different ones. Or depending on your race and class, like you might have like one of our characters in CelebriD. Anytime she uses like
a magical spell,
yeah.
she surges with magical energy, and she rolls a D100, which is a D10 and a D. Well, two D10s, one with increments of 10 and one through 10.
Yeah.
And through those you get a percentage, and she rolls on this chart, and then something crazy happens.
Yeah. So I think probably probably one of the funniest ones was when she just totally bald, no eyebrows, just like.
I thought you were gonna say when she turned into a potted plant.
That's actually my second favorite one, because that was hilarious. She just into a little potted plant.
Yeah, that's the wild magic sorcerer. If you guys are looking through your books to figure out a zany character class, she's very powerful if she succeeds in the spell.
Yeah, absolutely.
They call it percentile dice when you roll those too. Yeah,
okay.
to get a number 1 to 100.
So let's say if I roll both of those, that would be just a 7. So that wasn't really the greatest example.
43.
But that would be like 43. So I rolled
40.
like a 40 and then the number 3. So that would be 43. So that's kind of how you get those percentile dice. Some of the other books. So like this is as a player, this is going to be your main book that you use, the player's hand guide.
Yeah, if you want to be a DM and kind of look at running the game and putting a game together, which would be me, you're going to need 2 things. To put your game together, the Dungeon Master's Guide is awesome. It's full of tables for randomly generating things from like dungeons and monster encounters to things like the name of a tavern that you're gonna go have a drink and get a bed in.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know. Like I haven't seen that because I'm not a DM.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun to look through. It also has all sorts of magic items you can reward your players with. It tells you how to create non-player characters that are interesting and feel like they're a real character.
Yeah,
it tells
and, like part of the story too.
Yeah, it tells you how much information to put into any of these things without going overboard.
Yep.
I mean, something like a stable boy, which may be a very minimum role. Maybe your players decide to ask him a lot of questions about who he is, and you want to develop a backstory.
Yep.
Then that stable boy could end up being one of the best friends your party's ever met.
Yep.
So the Dungeon Master Guide gives you all the tools you need to do that and more.
Wicked.
On top of that, you're going to need the monster manual because it's not really Dungeons without the dragons, right?
Absolutely.
So this is just basically an encyclopedia of monsters and anything you've ever heard of, seen in a video game, read in a book, saw in a movie. Like, there'll be a monster in here that represents that with stats, health points, strength, dexterity, abilities, attacks, what they want to do to destroy your players.
Now, just out of curiosity, so when you defeat an enemy, does it give you stats on like what it drops basically? Or
no, that's up to you.
All DM, eh?
There is some write-ups of like behaviors of some of the monsters. Okay. So it'll write up about how orcs are more savage and they may be using more crude weapons.
Yep.
And then drow, which are dark elves, may have more elegant, beautiful, edged weapons.
Yep.
So you can use that to tailor what equipment they have.
Okay.
Which is pretty interesting. And keep in mind, all of this stuff is just a guideline.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you want
sky's the limit.
If you want your dragon to have metal claws and do double damage that the book says, I mean, your players aren't going to argue when you say that a red dragon has metal grafted into its scales and into its talons. They're going to know that's going to hurt a lot more.
Yeah. You would hope so.
A goblin with a magical sword becomes that much more of a threat.
Yeah.
I mean, even if he doesn't know how to use it, he actually might be a bigger threat to himself. And you can play that. You guys ran into some troglodytes that didn't really have much interest in you. They just wanted your gear.
Yep.
All they wanted, they ambushed you and grabbed at your stuff and tried running away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they got slaughtered
they almost got away.
Yeah, they almost did get away.
They almost got away.
The book kind of tells you how monsters behave, and you can change that, or you can lean into it as much as you want.
Yep.
And like I said in another video, like steal.
Yep.
Like if you like Lord of the Rings and the orcs behave a certain way, and you like the way they behave, that's the way your orcs behave.
Yeah, run with it.
If your orcs are very distinguished and maybe not as evil, maybe more like a World of Warcraft, shamanistic, trying to find their place in the world.
Yep.
You can create an orc like that if you want to. They don't have to be evil like the books say they have to be.
Yeah, it's a loose guideline.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing that Wizards of the Coast and Dungeons and Dragons offers is primers, which are like full campaigns.
Oh, cool.
So I was borrowing a lot from the Underdark when I was first writing my campaign, and I came across Out of the Abyss, which is where I got a lot of the ideas for breaking out of like a prison and trying to find our way out of the Underdark.
Yep.
The Mechanoid Village. This book just kind of tells you how the Underdark exists, the way that Forgotten Realms and Wizards of the Coast have outlined it in their histories of novels, books, comics,
graphic novels.
Multiple editions of Dungeons and Dragons.
Wicked.
In addition, one other thing I have here, this isn't done by the Wizards of the Coast, but Critical Role that you mentioned.
Yeah. Yep.
Matthew Mercer, who is a great role model to me, he's the best. Like, he's the best.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's the dungeon master, and he
does it so damn well.
Yeah,
like,
if you're into D&D and don't know what Critical Role is, you're missing out by not going to their channel right now and checking out what they have.
Well, after the episode,
of course, after you finish all of our playlists, right?
Absolutely. So I'll link the information down in the description down below.
Yeah, for sure.
How to check that out and how to grab this book.
Yeah, and this is just he's been running his campaign on the Critical Role channel, and he wanted to put it all down on paper and put together a resource that people like us who are running our own games can
use and utilize. Yeah.
And there's characters from Critical Role that you can see their stats in here, and a couple new ideas that Matthew Mercer has been nice enough to put down for us.
Now, does that have like any of the customized classes?
It does have a few that he's created.
Cool.
I think one's, I don't want to get it wrong, but it's like a Blood Rager or something.
I know what one you're talking about.
Yeah. And you can find it in here. But yeah, so there's a community that likes to share. There's homebrew content. Yeah. You can go on the Adventurers League, the Adventurers Guild on through the Dungeons and Dragons websites and find any homebrew that people have created.
Which is awesome too, because then the resources to get your campaign going, especially from a DM perspective, is limitless. Like if you have access to the internet, which you do because you're watching this episode, it's limitless.
Yeah, and it can be overwhelming to try to create your own world from scratch. So there's no shame from taking one of these books where it already exists, because you can always tweak and add your own stuff. Like I used Out of the Abyss as like a foundation for what I've done.
Yep.
But I added my own players' backstories. I tweaked things based on how they wanted to play the game, how I wanted to run the game, to work for me and to work for my players.
Absolutely.
So all this stuff is there for us to add and tweak and create the experience that we want.
Totally, and that's really what you want to have. Like you want to have a DM that's gonna make it enjoyable for you to play. Like that's ultimately that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest parts is finding the right people to play with, people that
absolutely
enjoy each other. I mean, you can definitely, if there's more shy players or more aggressive players, you can work with them. But I think the most important thing is to keep an open dialogue with your DM and your players of behaviors that are accepted, how you want to run the game, how you want to be playing the game.
It also depends on the character too, because you could have a character that's just completely off the wall, and like is just like in Critical Role right now. There's a character called Jester in the new campaign.
I don't know anything about the new
Oh man, it's so her character's hilarious. She's a tiefling, and it just hearing how she acts and everything like that. Like next character I build is probably gonna be a tiefling, just because they're so funny. Like she'll just use like sleight of hand to try and draw like dicks on like on like maps and stuff like that.
Is it
or,
Laura
like,
Bailey?
I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, okay.
I listen to the podcast,
Okay.
so I don't know 100%. But no, it's hilarious. Like you get a lot of information from that, and especially
it's a great place to get an idea.
Well, ideas and just kind of like a character outline in general. And I mean, like the player's handbook has all that in there.
Yeah.
But going off of Tiefling, that's just so that's one of the races. But there's a whole bunch of different races that you can choose from, and there's
basically anything you would expect from the usual fantasy genre: elves, dwarves, halflings, gnomes, humans, orcs, half elves. Tieflings is like a demon creature, right?
Yeah,
horns and a tail.
Yeah.
But through the website, there's a whole expanded race list. Like you can be lizard men if you want to be a cat person. They're tabaxi. If you want to be a fallen angel, the Aasimar. There's eagle men. There's dog men.
Like it's expansive. Like I mean,
if you want to make up your own, like
you can.
You want to be part snake. You want to be part giraffe. I'm sure you can figure it out.
Any part giraffe.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
Yeah, make it up. Be the first part giraffe.
If you're a part giraffe, comment down below. Let us know.
If you're a part giraffe, we want to hear from you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I imagine you have very high perception.
Nice. So so those are some of the races. Do you wanna go into a little bit more detail in some of the classes?
The classes,
yeah.
Yes. The classes, they definitely shape what your character is going to be all about, and each class has its own subgenres. But
advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah, definitely
too,
pros and cons, strengths and weaknesses. So you've got the basic fighter, which is just anyone who's good with a sword, good with a spear, wants to get in there, trade blows with the monsters,
just melee,
take some hits. Yeah, you're getting in there. If you want to be in the melee but be a little bit more subtle, be a little bit more discreet, you may want to look at a rogue who's going to get in there, shank a guy in the kidneys, do some sneak attack damage, high damage, high risk, high reward, because you get in, but if you get hit, you're gonna take some damage. You're gonna want to dodge and get out of there.
Yep. Disengage.
If you want to be like my friend Feroshi, you could be a ranger and basically be a defender of the realm. And just fight any monster that deserves fighting.
Bring it on.
If you want to use swords, you can. If you want to use a ranged bow, if you want to use guns, you can explore a game that has firearms, gunpowder, and then there's kind of hybrid classes that start adding magic in. So if you want to be a paladin that fights with a sword and shield and uses divine magics to heal and to smite, then a knight in shining armor paladin might be the one for you.
Totally.
If you want to be a monk who puts the weapons away and kind of uses martial prowess to punch and kick. Yeah, the monk might be a good choice. Cleric is a priest who uses divine powers to heal, to mess with your mind, to create illusions, to change kind of the way you perceive the world. And then if you want to go full on into the magics, you got wizards. You got sorcerers. You got warlocks that kind of use the more demonic nature of magic. Wizards tend to look through their spell books, trying to figure out the right incantation at the right time mid-battle. Maybe getting snuck up on by a goblin and taking a sword through the cloth or something. There's unique classes, like the bard, who uses music to inspire and fire up his comrades with buffs, and maybe debilitate his enemies with a couple cunning insults that kind of get them off their toes. A very interesting class that I think is a lot of fun is the Druid, which is a man or woman of nature that hides away in the forest and convenes with the animals and maybe even takes their shape. We have two of those in our campaign. We do. We have a lot of rats and spiders crawling around.
Snakes,
biting
spiders,
enemies. Yeah, Druid's really cool. You can turn into animals, bears, wolves. It's a lot of fun. Am I forgetting any? I think that's most of them.
I think that's most of the main ones. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, like with the races, you can go on the internet and find
and you can
crazy classes.
Yeah, and I mean, like you can have like hybrid ones as well.
Yeah,
like
you can multi-class.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like multi-class.
If you want a flavor of each and make the character that you have in your mind, which is a little bit of each.
Yeah.
Maybe you're a fighter that gets in with the swords, but maybe steps back and throws a couple waves of energy. If you have a Jedi in mind, that would definitely be a sword fighter with some telekinetic abilities.
Yep. So that's kind of like a little bit more advanced. Like,
there's plenty with just the vanilla within the player's handbook. There's plenty to keep you playing for years.
Yeah, absolutely. There definitely is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but the point I think we're trying to get across is these are just the foundations of what your imagination can be.
Yeah. And I mean that's the thing. Like you have one idea here, and you can go wherever you want with your character.
Yeah.
Because like especially when it comes to
work with your DM to get where you want to be.
Totally.
Yeah. Because you got to start low, but your image for your character when he's at max ability, it's going to be something that you adventure towards.
Yeah. And that you work towards as well. Like it's something that you want to achieve as well.
Yeah, you may find from playing it's something completely different than what you initially thought, just from what experiences that this character has had through your adventure with your friend.
And that might actually change how your character is. Like mindsets may change, and you might look at absolutely.
Maybe the death Feroshi went through during our campaign. Did that leave a scar on him?
Yeah. A pretty huge one.
Yeah. Well, physical scars for sure.
Yeah.
But maybe he has PTSD, or there's things you can play into.
I've got a couple things planned for that as well. Like I even played that out a little bit, like
just based on what's happened to you during the game.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, so those are kind of the main classes, but we kind of alluded a little bit earlier. Oh damn!
Would you roll?
4. Nice.
That's the
4 on a D4. That's not bad. That's the best I could get.
You're dead.
But so damn, if you go like D100s and stuff like that, those are like almost a sphere.
Oh, I haven't even.
You haven't seen them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I saw one. They're
ball.
Yeah, like they're about like the smallest one that I've seen is about that big. Like
wow.
they're pretty huge, and like the actual like dice side on them are like tiny.
Wow.
I have a whole bunch of like D20s. Like this, I have like a big D20. I don't really use this as much because I find it doesn't feel. It doesn't bounce as well, and I even rolled worse. I rolled a 17 on that and 15.
Yeah, if on my big dice, I use it when I want to be dramatic.
Yeah,
and put it in front of people because as a DM, I mean, one tool that we haven't shown yet, which is a big part of the DM's toolkit when we're talking about dice, is the DM screen.
Yeah.
So the DM normally sits behind a screen, and you don't have to. And one thing I'm thinking about, kind of for my own DM style, is maybe doing away with the DM screen. Because I find it kind of separates me from the rest of the table.
I actually, like, from a player perspective, I actually like it.
You like the mystery?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That 100%, that's what it is. I like the mystery of, like, what are you planning back there?
Yeah, what are you doing? Because I can hide all my notes so my players don't see what I'm planning to kill them with.
Yeah.
But the DM screen, you see that we've got some fine art of a nice red dragon attacking a party of heroes. But on the other side is a lot of useful tools to a DM. Like you've got all these rule reminders, and you can see I've got a few sticky notes for things that I find a little bit more useful than what the Wizards of the Coast have provided me with here. But it's a great resource for the Dungeon Master. And you can also set it up in front of you and then hide kind of the dice rolls you need. Now there's debate that some Dungeon Masters like to fudge dice rolls to move the story where they need to go, or to be a little bit merciful to maybe a player that's about to lose their life for a mistake.
I don't find that you're like that though.
I like to roll.
At least I hope not.
I like to let the dice fall where they may.
Yep.
It frees me from any type of blame.
Yep. You're just like,
when Feroshi died, it was a Quaggoth that was clawing him to death. It wasn't Colin the DM that was killing Tommy's character.
It was also my dice, because I rolled a natural 1 on my second one, so I died
That didn't help.
right away.
That didn't help.
That's the worst.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
No.
But that's one tool of the DM. I mean, it's your game. If you want to fudge dice rolls, you can. Don't tell your players because they may feel a little bit cheated.
Absolutely. And you know what? I think another reason why I really like that is because, like, especially when we're in battle and, like, it's, like, the enemy's turn and, like, you're rolling, like, I know I'm on the edge of my seat to be like, how do you roll? How do you roll? How do you roll? Yeah, absolutely. I'm just like,
yeah.
Don't do it. And you're just like, yeah, 17. He hits. Just like,
And I don't want to... I like not fudging the dice rolls personally because...
Oh, totally. It makes it more authentic, and it just...
And if something goes wrong, I think you got a more interesting session than you did if you know, did everything properly and
totally.
Nothing bad happened, right?
Yep, absolutely. So with the sessions as well, you guys can probably see down here, like...
Yeah, I hope you can.
There's little minis. Now, we're fortunate enough that you have a 3D printer.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of the big ones, like the big spiders and like the bears and stuff like that, you've actually printed and painted yourself.
Yeah, there's actually it might be really helpful if I give you the link to post down at the bottom because
down in the description. Yeah.
There's an awesome guy that has actually he just for free modeled each and every D&D model from the monster manual.
Oh, really? Wow, that's cool.
Just to give to the community.
That's amazing.
I go on and whenever I need a monster from the monster manual, I print it and then I paint it.
Is it from Thingiverse?
It's from Shapeways.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
And he's on Imgur. I use Thingiverse too. These are all great resources for anyone who likes to 3D print.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's an amazing tool for somebody that wants to be a dungeon master because you don't have to spend money on all these miniatures.
Mm-hmm.
Now some of these smaller ones for my player characters, I like to actually treat them and buy one of the actual Dungeons and Dragons miniatures.
Yeah, totally.
So you get a little bit more detail when it's not 3D printed, and then I can paint them so it's more durable and just higher quality.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, like they're like, and it also depends. Like, work within your means. Like, I mean, I'm not saying by any means like go out and buy like a $3,000 3D printer, but
definitely not. You do not need any of this. You can use paper dolls, which is a really thrifty way to do it. If you have a color printer, or if you're an artist and you want to sketch a couple goblins, you just fold a piece of paper over a piece of cardboard,
just
hot glue it onto a penny.
Yep.
Because no one uses those anymore.
Absolutely.
Or a bottle cap.
Well, and we even use like for stuff like if they have what's the one thing that Ashi uses to like it puts like a flame around it and then it makes it easier.
Fairy fire.
Fairy fire, yeah.
Yeah, just debuffs and buffs. You can use the ring of a bottle cap.
Yeah, just like the
stuff
red
around
ring.
the house.
Yeah, absolutely. Like and you kind of get creative. Right?
I use rocks and twigs out of the garden because a rock is a boulder in D&D.
Absolutely, especially when it compares to minis. Yeah. But I mean, like how much like the minis like this? Like how much are they?
2 of them are like $4.99.
Yeah, so I mean, like that's pretty inexpensive. Like,
and I don't mind. I enjoy painting as a hobby in its own, because of Warhammer, which is another hobby I have.
Yep.
I enjoy painting this, and I just enjoy that any player that comes to my table, I like providing them with a mini based on the player that they've kind of chosen.
Yeah, totally.
I like doing that,
and it kind of gives you a visual representation too, to be like, okay, that's what my character looks like, and that kind of brings us to the next part about this as well, is like crafting your map or your terrain or anything like that.
Yeah, if you're a crafty person, I mean, I've made
you make awesome stuff. Like you set the scene.
It's a lot of fun.
Very, very well.
It's a lot of fun, and it really adds to it.
Oh, 100%, because you get a feel of like, okay, like this is where I am in relation to this guy. Like I know, like I'm like 30 feet away, so I can use my my action to like travel here.
Yeah.
Do like a slash, and then I guess that's it.
Yeah.
You know, but it definitely gives you perspective. Like
now, and if you're not very crafty, there's tons of materials you can purchase. Like this is a cheap map I got, which I'll just hold up here. It's just a grid where you can go around in caverns.
Yeah, and I
But
mean,
you
like,
could
it's...
draw this on a piece of paper if you wanted
Oh,
to.
totally. Like, well, I mean, like, how much did that cost?
This was like $14.99 or something.
Okay, so that's not bad. Like, it's less than $20.
But to be honest, I rarely use this because
Yeah, like you got like a piece of foam board.
yeah, I made I got this insulation foam that I melted and painted, and
Okay,
it's
yeah.
more 3D. It's just a lot.
Yeah.
It's more, you can touch it, you can see it. It's coming up at you.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. But yeah, it's just how much time you want to put into this kind of hobby.
Totally, and I mean, like, even like, especially starting out and everything like that. Like, don't spend like 200 hours crafting just your map. Like, I mean, put that time towards gameplay. Like, I know, like, I would rather play with something like basic, even if it's just a grid, to be like, oh, okay, you know, like, this is how I can move. Like, each one of the grid markers are 5 feet.
Yeah. If you're intimidated for how to get started, this is how easy it is.
Yep.
You're a elf ranger. I'm a human paladin. There's 5 goblins in a forest. They've just killed 2 people. Let's battle.
Roll for initiative.
Roll for initiative.
All right. Oh, I got a 6.
I got a 10.
So
I go first.
You go first.
I want to kill the first goblin.
All right.
I rolled a 14. That hits.
That's
because
not bad.
the armor class of a goblin is less than 14 in the monster manual.
There you go.
I roll damage. I have a greatsword that does 1d8 damage. I hit for 4 damage. Slash!
And that's 4 damage off.
You're up.
That's started. So, I mean, oh, damn. So I rolled a natural 1.
Feroshi. So you trip over your own feet and land on your own sword.
And slice my leg.
And you take...
Probably a D8.
Yeah, why not?
I imagine.
Oh!
Damn.
6 self-damage.
6 self-damage.
Yeah. Feroshi's a really good roller.
Yeah, apparently.
Is that the same dice?
With the one that killed me?
Yeah.
No, that's the one in the ice cube.
Oh,
that
cold.
I'll put in there.
Cold.
It's brutal.
So there.
But, I mean, like,
Wow.
that was what, a minute?
Yeah.
And we're already in, and you can go from there.
Yeah, I mean, and if you want to build a story after that battle ends, you know, those goblins had a princess.
Or they had weapons that you could pick up. Like, you now have 2 swords. Or they had maybe, like, a crossbow. You can pick that up. Maybe they had, like, 2 pieces of gold and 5 silver.
It's all, everyone likes getting gear.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's loot.
Yeah, it's loot.
Everybody loves it.
Loot makes the game. You give your players loot, they'll love you.
You're set. Yeah, exactly.
So it's easy. It's very accessible. I mean, you can write as much of a political plot as you like.
True.
But it's as simple as just sword fighting with some goblins in a forest, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Like,
and I mean, you can kind of go from there, because, I mean, literally the world is at your disposal.
Yeah, now, like, our group started escaping a prison, but now they've got this rivalry with the woman that captured them all, who's now hunting them through the Underdark because she's embarrassed that they escaped and brought shame to her house and her family.
And stole a bunch of her stuff.
So now she's hunting them through the Underdark.
Yep.
And, you know, if my players see her again, they're not going to be too happy to see her for what she's done. And they're way more powerful now from their experience.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just, like, the story writes itself, and you get to add whatever you want to it. It's a blast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why aren't you playing yet?
Yeah.
If you've ever thought about doing it,
just do it. Yeah,
do
and
it.
I mean, like, comment down below what class you are and what race you are. We would love
if
to
you've been
hear.
playing for a while, or if there's anything we've said you don't agree with, we'd love to hear how you do it.
Absolutely, and let us know your player character. I'll shoot mine down in the comments below as well. And it's fun. Like, it's a really big community once you take a step back and be like, there's a lot of people that play D&D.
Yeah, and it's growing.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of another thing that I want to talk about, like the social aspect of it. Like, not only do you physically get together with your friends, you know, you can do it on like a weekly basis or a bi-weekly basis or like once a month. You know, it really just depends on what your schedules allow for.
Or once ever if you want to do a one-shot.
Yeah,
if that's all you have time for.
Yep, absolutely. Like, I mean, the options are endless. Like, if you just want to give it a try, you know, do a one-shot campaign. I'm sure there's a lot of information in there on how to create those.
Yeah, in the DM guide, it tells you how to do a one-shot.
Yep.
It's basically just keep it simple.
Yeah.
Not too much.
Absolutely. You know, and that's kind of the fun part too. So I mean, I would imagine that's kind of a good intro to it, especially if you want to just kind of test the waters.
Yeah, I think it's a great way to start because
absolutely.
You might not know what kind of character you want to make until you played the game once or twice.
Totally, absolutely. And I mean, another really good resource to check out is the Critical Role podcast. I'll put a link down in the description down below on how to check that out. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like, because it is greatly appreciated. And yeah, I mean, it's a blast. Like I know I feel much more connected to my friends, and even if it's a new group of people that you're just sitting down with, over time, like you'll become fantastic friends. Like I know lots of people that'll just do like drop-in D&Ds, and they're like, yeah, I'll just do it like once or twice, and they'll just go week after week after week
They just
because
get hooked.
yeah, they just get hooked, and like they start talking to the other people that are around. Absolutely, like and it really does. It builds those friendships, and that's the kind of thing that lasts. And you know, the more you talk about D&D, the more you get to know the person behind it, and you also get to know them outside of D&D as well. And you know, it's a really, really cool community aspect. It's fantastic. I love it. Yeah. I absolutely love it.
One thing I like is like people that you wouldn't think would be too into something like this.
Yeah.
And you
just kind of casually
put them in a
mention
situation and you realize that, you know, you got a secret Dungeons and Dragons hero that is just waiting to go out and explore this world that you create for them as a DM.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So those are the tools that we use in our campaign. If you have any questions about our campaign, definitely let us know down in the description below. We'd love to talk about it. I could talk about it all day long. I know you could as well.
Easily.
But other than that, thanks for watching, and stay tuned next week where we'll be back with 2 new cocktails. And as always, stay geeky, guys.
Cheers.
Mamma mia.